Assalamu alaikum, brothers and sisters. Yeah, this is brother Kashif Muhammad, and this is the subject matter: how to eat to live. So I'm just gonna make this brief video. I was inspired to do just a brief nugget, and I'm an amateur with this other video process because I did this 2 times, and I cannot get this camera to flip around like back and forth when I'm doing it with this little piece. But bear with me. I just want to cover a brief nugget and the subject of how to eat to live. And I want to greet you first in the greeting words of peace. Assalamu alaikum. Another word for peace. And another word for peace. And I want to start off, I just wrote this down as I was working with this camera. The thought came to mind was peace. And this is an acronym that's applicable to what I'm about to share. And it's positive energy. I know we think in pictures. Positive energy always causes elevation. And now that I'm dealing with this now, this is a little freestyle because if y'all can see this word right here is the root of a Greek word ergon, which means work. And this right here is the prefix, the Greek prefix en, which means in. So everything we're going to be covering in here is really a little small nugget to turn us to the work within. You see this work like ergomania, which is a person who's crazy about work, and a person who's afraid of work, they call it ergophobia. So, but this is dealing with the positive energy that's right within each one of us, because each one of us are made in God's likeness and in His image. So, as the scripture says, greater is He that is within us than he that is within the world. So, this little nugget from How to Eat to Live is really unlayering and unwrapping the divine potential that's hidden inside each one of us to tap us into our own internal GPS system. So positive energy always causes elevation. And who doesn't want to be elevated? Who doesn't want to be elevated? So let's go into this little nugget. And we're going to, like I said, this is a little small nugget. And maybe just a reminder for some. And it's from the very first page, the first 2 paragraphs I want to share from How to Eat to Live. And once I get a little better skill level with this camera, then we can make it better. But I'm just going to deal with what is right now. This first section is called Right Way to Eat. Right way to eat. So, and we wasn't taught the right way because we was taught 3, 4, 5 meals a day, snacks all in between. And now that I'm looking at this right, there's a Latin word that comes to my mind, and it's the word rectus. And the Latin word rectus, which means straight, and it means right as well. It means right and straight. And it's the Latin word rectus, which you get the word resurrection, or correct, or something that comes, or somebody that comes to rectify our situation. And this man, this book right here was made to rectify our situation and bring us from a nigger level or a beast-like level to bring us into our divine potential. And you know how we say when you're trying to share something with us, and you say, "I'm straight, I'm cool, I'm straight," which means I'm already erect. I don't need to be rectified. But so we're gonna go into this. So this little section is called "The Right Way to Eat." And it says, there is no way for us to learn the right way to eat in order to live a long life, except through the guidance and teachings of Allah, who came in the person of Master Fard Muhammad. The Bible said he will give us more life abundancy, but he demands strict obedience to his will. There's no way of prolonging the life of human beings or any other life unless it begins with restrictions of the foods which sustain life, the right kind of food, and the proper time when it shall be taken into our bodies. Now, all I want to deal with in this short video is the prolongation of life, of human life or any other life, and the principles from some doctors and scientists. And then the next video we will go into the proper time to eat, because it's a little bit more to it than what may first meet the eye. And this subject matter can exhaust us in so many different lifetimes. I mean, because I've been experimenting with this since '96, and I have barely scraped the surface. And I have experimented with everything that I've read in this, both 1 and 2, and I have barely scratched the surface. So this is definitely a to be continued subject matter. And this is a book, by the way, brothers and sisters. It's called Unlimited Power, The New Science of Personal Achievement. And it's by a gentleman named, some of you may know, Anthony Robbins, who's like a life coach. And it was a study that these doctors did when they was experimenting with mice. But they worked with all type of different mammals, and they seen the truth of this with people. So I'm going to share this little excerpt right quickly, and then I'm conclude this video. This is page 165, and this is a section called Energy, the Fuel of Excellence. So let's go on to the fourth key, the law of controlled consumption. Do you love to eat? So do I. Want to learn how to eat a lot? Here it is. Eat a little. That way you'll be around long enough to eat a lot. Medical study after medical study has shown the same thing. The surest way to increase an animal's lifespan is to cut down on the amount of food it eats. Dr. Clive McKay conducted one famous study at Cornell University. In his experiment, he took laboratory rats and cut their food intake in half. It doubled their lifespan. One follow-up study done by Dr. Edward J. Massaro at the University of Texas was even more interesting. Massaro worked with 3 groups of rats. One group ate as much as it wanted. A second group had its food intake cut by 60%. And the third group was able to eat as much as it wanted, but its protein intake was cut in half. Want to know what happened? After 810 days, only 13% of the first group remained alive. I'll repeat that again. After 810 days, only 13% of the first group remained alive. Now that was the group that was allowed to eat as much as it wanted to. Okay, continue. Of the second group, whose food consumption was cut by 60%, 97% were still alive. Of the third group, where food intake remained high, but protein consumption was cut in half, 50% was still alive. And that is usually the first thing people want to know when you cut back on your eating. They want to know where you're getting your protein from, how you're getting your protein. But this just said, of the third group where food intake remained high, but protein consumption was cut in half, 50% was still alive. We're going to go into that at another day. So is there a message in this? Dr. Ray Walford, a famous UCLA researcher, concluded, quote, undernutrition is thus far the only method we know of that consistently retards the aging process and extends the maximum lifespan of warm-blooded animals. These studies are undoubtedly applicable to humans because it works in every species studied thus far. The studies show that physiological deterioration, including the normal deterioration of the immune system, was remarkably delayed by food restriction. So the message is simple and clear. Eat less, live more. Then he adds, I'm like you. I love to eat. It can be a form of entertainment, but make sure your entertainment isn't killing you. If you want to eat large quantities of food, you can. Just make sure they're water-rich foods. You can eat a whole lot more salad than you can steak and remain vibrant and healthy. Now all that just bore witness to what was mentioned in this book by the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. In the top, there's a lot of nutrition books out here, but the only one that I've heard of, and this is irregardless of your religious persuasion, but only one that I've heard of out of the nutrition book that says from God in person. Master Fard Muhammad by Elijah Muhammad, Messenger of Allah, Book 1, How to Eat to Live. When he said the Bible says that he will give us more life abundancy, but he demands strict obedience to his will. And there's no way of prolonging the life in human beings or any other life unless it begins with restrictions of the foods which sustain life, the right kind of foods, and the proper time when it shall be taken into our bodies. So, yes, one more paragraph real quickly, and then this video is done until next time. This is off of page 9, and it says, eat a single meal a day. No matter what anyone says, if your doctor says that you should eat more than one meal a day, ignore him with a smile and eat only once a day. If he tells you he eats 3 meals a day, tell him that his length of life is about the same as his patient's. Then tell the doctor to try to eat 1 meal a day. Now listen to this, brothers and sisters. The more idle our stomachs are, the longer they will last, which ties us back into the experiment with the mice. The more we tax our stomachs, the sooner it wears out. We all try to live as long as we can, because nature never teaches us that we should not try to live. And we do not have a nature that teaches us to die or teaches us of life somewhere else. That's not in our nature. So, now I'm wrapping this up now. It's, this just came to my mind as I was just, thinking upon the whole subject matter, which is how to eat to live. And it just spoke of in that little last, where I just concluded that, it just mentions about, that it's in our nature to live. You can even trap a fly, which you think is meaningless, and try to kill it, and watch what it does to try to do everything it can to maintain its survival, to live. So this book, or this, which is, we will go into more. Now, hidden inside of live is the word veil. And there's a veil on our light that this world has buried. There's a veil over the divine essence within ourselves. But each one of us have an internal GPS system. So this book has one of the very essential keys to unwrap this gift that we've been given. And it helps to remove those things that are vile from our life. So we want to erase those things that are vile. And our unity is more powerful than an atomic bomb, because together we can produce a synergy to help us tap into the energy to be the best we can be, so we can do what? Live. So I want to leave you, brothers and sisters, as I greeted you in the beautiful Arabic words of peace and paradise. Assalamu alaikum. Love you all.